Asbury Elementary School wanted to solve the problem of traditionally marginalized students achieving significantly below grade level. They were making progress toward their aim of increasing all students' achievement on CMAS and math as measured by interim assessments. They approached this problem by redesigning professional development and planning days with teachers, by using culturally responsive teaching in the brain, asking each teacher to focus on targeted student groups, and engaging in building walks to ensure culturally responsive teaching.
Our focus groups were students of color,
Okay.
and then students who speak a second language. And our school population in general is so small, and we were able to kind of get in and at the nitty gritty. We allowed teachers to kind of choose any group of kiddos to focus on as long as it was a subgroup that we were trying to target. Data team meetings, I think, were much more efficient because teachers had a stronger understanding of not only their kids and their data, but what to do with it, which is always the million-dollar questions. I have all this data, data rich and information poor. We took them from data rich to information rich. They figured out how to move forward. Did surveys after every release day. So we would send a survey to the staff asking them what worked and what didn't work. And we tried to change things up a couple of times.
We would really unpack like the release day with one another. What we're noticing is where do we need to spread out more, just kind of like refining the process for the next release day. So like as a leadership team, we really dedicated time to making those, I don't know if better is the right word, but just like better the next time. Okay, what do we need to do? What can we shift here? They want more time for this. So just, again, really listening to their feedback and honoring it.
Started with them and their stories and their emotions and like building community, and then would switch into the technical stuff. And I think it just left people in a much more ready place.
Yeah. Like we had different strategies of like, they would pick their focus group, like whatever group that they settled on, they would send us the names of the students and we'd print off pictures of each of those students so that it was more personal. They had to they'd come in on this release day when students were not at school, but the ones that were sitting in front of them were the ones that we're going to really focus on. So just some different things to kind of personalize the process for teachers. Again, okay, it's like simple enough, but complex enough where we can make movement and progress forward with teachers around all the things that live in here. And so I feel like it's just been a really crystal clear model for us and then for teachers. And the simple part is like we have the CRT in the brain book that we pull from, and we kind of tap into that inner part of the teacher and them having to kind of unpack different biases and different things within themselves that show up when they come in front of students. And then also alongside it, we're looking at our UIP goals. How do we give feedback? How do we increase rigor? And so I think aligning those two things together and then like doing it together during release days and then them hitting the ground and going in front of students and practicing that like almost immediately. And it's consistent, right? Like every release day, this is the process. And then we go back into, with the classroom and practice this and then come back and reflect. And so I feel like that process is very clear to me. It doesn't seem overcomplicated. Complexity, I feel like there's a lot in here, but it's still clear on what we need to do, right? Like we got really hyper focused on the things that were most important and the most important things that we thought would make movement with students and create higher levels of engagement, while at the same time kind of supporting teachers in unpacking those different things within themselves and their practice. And that's complex work. And it takes a lot of like commitment and dedication and vulnerability, but yet it's so impactful.
Is like, I wonder how much of the mindset shift changed because of that push, but ended up flooding, every classroom with students from our center-based program who historically for the past 5 years that I've been there have really been in room 205 and never left unless they went to specials. But it was very like protected population to now where we just say, nope, you're just in general education with your peers and you're going to learn alongside. And we saw such great gains and growth that I think it, sort of, kind of stoked thinking in so many teachers about like, what were we doing? Why did we wait so long to do this? Why did we protect children from this learning when they can obviously do it?